What's up guys, Talos here with another Project Diablo 2 Season 8 video. This time I want to show what some Players 8 mapping looks like on this Fire Druid. So same build as I've been using before, similar gear if you've seen it along the way. Some upgrades though, including this 10 faster run walk Stone of Jordan. Slammed it before realizing that it was actually a perfect roll as well, so keeping this forever. 10 FCR, 40-15 Verdungos as well. These 4 upgrades actually all came in the last week, where I've also got a 10 faster cast rate Volkathos ring, as well as 8 all-res Mermans. So with this build, I definitely like having the extra defense as well as the PDR from Verdungos here. That helps a ton because I'd like telestomping very aggressively into the packs and kind of staying ahead of the group. Helps me be able to soften up the packs with my Molten Boulder before the rest of the group gets to it. And then with the Mermans here, it also helps a ton with looting. So a lot of pub maps that I'm doing nowadays are actually going to be free for all. It is a little bit of stress to actually try to use this roll feature that PD2 provides. So in your big group games, when let's say like a high rune or some items of value drop, folks are going to roll for it. The community is really great about this for by and large, but it only takes one person to ruin it for everyone. So it is a bit of extra stress trying to keep everybody in line for that. But with that said, I mean, I like using this build. So what you'll see is kind of highlights for this back-to-back River of Blood and then Cow maps. So really nicely rolled 377 density River of Blood plus the subsequent cows from the Horizons event and some drop highlights along the way. So I'll be talking a little bit about DPS and I'll be commentating throughout it. Alright, so jumping right into the map here, it's 377 density River of Blood. You'll see I'm using mainly Molten Boulder, so it's going to be Volcano, Gust, then Molten Boulder throughout this map. What it does is really nicely be able to soften up these packs and then let the rest of the folks get the kills essentially, but at that point I'm already in the middle of the pack and really set up where in case any loot drops, not even necessarily GG stuff, but at this point I am able to pick up like low runes and things like that. So here's a quick clip of the mini boss in the middle of this map. This River of Blood just happens to have 2. And now we're getting into the Horizon event, and so this is what's going to open up the Cows map that we get at the end of this. So always really nice when you've got a nicely rolled map like this one. Again, 377 density is very high, and getting the Horizons event means you get 2 of them. So it happened to open up a Cows map, which I absolutely love in this build, and we'll see some highlights of that too. So getting into some of the drops now, we did get this nice little Mal rune. Again, see, it's pretty much right by my feet, so I have a very good chance of being able to loot stuff like that, especially it's not one thing that, it's not a thing that we'll roll for typically, even in the maps that we are sharing loot for. And so it's nice to pick those up. It's a nice little bonus. So again, this steel pillar right at my feet, able to loot it, and surprisingly no one wanted to roll for it. It used to be a lot more popular, I guess, but not anymore. And then this low rune, so that's definitely one worth rolling for, and so you'll see us get into that. And after rolling for that, we'll find a winner and get into the cow map and then hand that over. So took a little bit of sorting, but we finally got it through. Gull's in there, and he gets his low rune. So one thing to note for the cow map in particular, as well as like other wide open maps like Ashen Plains, they're very wide open and you've got 8 players, right? So typically the path that I like to take is to pick one wall and just go all the way around the outside and then spiral into the center. Ashen Plains kind of similar. If you just pick one wall, go all the way around the loop, it'll take you all the way to the boss, and then you follow that same wall all the way back, and that'll give you a full clear. So one thing to point out is the DPS that I'm reaching in this map. In River of Blood, they have some fire immunes, and so I think my DPS there was about 250k. In this Cows map, from this high density, I'm reaching over 300k. DPS it's a nice number to look at, especially when it's really high, but it's not necessarily the best comparison from build to build. or even from skill to skill, right? Because you're going to see differences in AoE and things like that. So if you're comparing build to build or class to class kind of things, the much more relevant stat for that would be your clear speed. So speed run a few maps, see what times you're capable of, and try to compare it that way. DPS, like if you look at a leap barb in this kind of density, you're looking at probably over 1 million DPS. Summoners, kind of same thing, they'll probably be at like 700, 800k or something like that. And so it's really variable by a lot of things. And so even in this one, within this map, now you see I'm just like, we're dealing with kind of more sparse packs, so the density is not necessarily there on these individual packs anymore, and so my DPS is now down to about 150k, right? So lots of different variables that go into that, but if you're playing Fire Druid as well and want to compare the numbers there, then that would be a valid way to do it. Another thing about staying together in packs as well, so the player's 8 difficulty is mostly for group mapping that's going to be looking for experience. So Cal's map, not necessarily the kind of map that you really target for that. But sticking together in the map actually provides a bonus for EXP. So your experience gained gets a bonus for every party member. However, within the map, they've also got to be at within range of each other, essentially. So if you've got 2 different groups that split off and they're all the way on different sides of the map, you're actually going to be losing experience for that. Not losing experience, but you're just not going to get the same bonus experience as before. So if you stick all together, that's a much better way to do it. If you're running off on your own and you die as well, then you can, if you're lucky, you'll get help recovering your body, but more than likely not, because it's a bit frustrating when that does happen, especially if it happens on repeat. So just some things to keep in mind, pathing and sticking together as a group, remembering that, you know, these pub maps are essentially mostly for experience. The rules around like looting and stuff like that, they're going to be kind of in-game and honor-based, right? So it's very frustrating when you do roll for, say, like a Vex rune or a Burr rune or something like that, and then it never drops, and somebody just runs away with it, and everybody plays dumb. Recording your runs is a kind of good way to go about that, but you know that frustration is real for sure. So that's something that hasn't been figured out yet in this mod, but you know may or may not come in the future. But just something to keep in mind that you know it's kind of part of the game. Unfortunate, but it's kind of true. All right, so that was the runs. You might see me on a couple more pub maps if you are still playing this season. Happy to see anybody in game. I am pretty bad at typing while playing also, so I might not necessarily be the most talkative in that case, but either way, still really happy to see anyone. Really love the support so far from the community. You guys have been awesome, just running into you guys in game and stuff like that. So really appreciate you all watching and staying to the end. As always, you know, like, comment, subscribe if you're enjoying the content so that you can see more, and I will catch you on the next one.